Support for Sports Page is provided by the University Store at the Crossing. The University Store at the Crossing is the official headquarters for Mules and Jennies emblem clothing, gifts, and UCM memorabilia. Books, office supplies, art supplies, and more are available at the University Store located on the lower level of the Elliott Union on the UCM campus in Warrensburg. And promotional support for Sports Page is provided by 1450 KOKO and 98.5 The Bar. 1450 KOKO and 98.5 The Bar, the radio home of the University of Central Missouri Athletics.
Tonight on this edition of UCM Sports Page, we'll recap Mules football as they took on Central Oklahoma.
We'll also give you a recap of Jennies volleyball as they had a pair of home games over the weekend.
And we'll sit down with another of our athletic department leaders in our Coaches Corner. We will have all that and more on this week's edition of the UCM Sports Page.
Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of the University of Central Missouri Sports Page. I'm Jason Katz.
And I'm Kira Mackey. We're going to start tonight's broadcast with an update from Mules football team.
The Mules were back on the road again this week in Edmond, Oklahoma to try to extend their winning streak to 4. Under head coach Jim Sabota, the Mules are 3-0 against the Broncos, including a win on the road in 2013. We pick up the action when Central Oklahoma running back Clay McKenzie takes it 24 yards to the house. UCO takes an early 7-0 lead. The Mules would respond later in the quarter as Fugate with the speed option pitch to Markel Smith for the touchdown. Mules even things up at 7. With 5 seconds left to go in the first half, Billy Greco splits the uprights with a 32-yard field goal, which gave the Mules a 3-point edge at halftime. In the second half is when things started getting a little interesting. After a field goal from Greco and a UCO touchdown, Fugate rolls to his right, but finds who else? Ian Tolson for an 18-yard touchdown pass. Mules regain the lead 19-14. Broncos would regain the lead, but the Mules offense would respond. Fugate calls his own number, rumbles into the end zone for the 4-yard touchdown. Mules back up by 5. Fourth quarter begins with the Broncos taking a 9-point lead, but on third down and goal, Josh Pickerel bulldozes to the end zone to cut the Bronco lead to just 2. Mules defense needing to stop. How about this play from Austin Miller as he's able to annihilate the quarterback there? Fugate in the offense would respond as number 7 in white helps put another 7 points on the board for the Mules with a 30-yard touchdown run. Smith finished the day with 143 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Mules would then trade touchdowns with the Broncos late in the football game, and they were able to come away with the 45-42 win. The two teams combined it for more than 1,200 yards in the contest. Fugate had 417 yards of total offense, and it is the 10th highest total in school history. He also established records for rushing yards by a quarterback in a game and in a season with 524 for the year.
Jennies volleyball had a busy weekend as they took on Missouri Southern and Southwest Baptist. The Jennies put an exciting show in sweeping Missouri Southern Friday night. Missouri Southern was able to set the tone early in Game 1, taking a 4-1 lead. UCM took its first lead at 12-11. UCM took its first 2-point lead, 14-12, on this Annie Riley service ace. The Jennies went up by 3, 2017, after Katie Carlson had back-to-back service aces as the Jennies went to take set 1, 25-22. The Jennies took a 10-point lead in set number 2 and cruised to a 25-14 set win. Set 3 was a similar look as UCM got ahead early, 15-5, and went on to take the set and match, 25-13. Kylie Holen led a balanced offensive attack as 3 Jennies had 7 or more kills, and 5 had 5 or more kills. And UCM defense was also stiff, holding Missouri Southern to an 0-54 hitting percentage. The Jennies not only swept Friday night, but decided to take the whole weekend as well. UCM came out strong against Southwest Baptist Saturday afternoon to take a 3-0 win over the Bearcats. The Jennies led the Bearcats by 10 early in the first set, 15-5, which led to a quick 25-14 win. SBU put up a fight in set number 2. After the Jennies got up 13-6, SBU clawed its way back to trail by 4 at 14-10. But then the Jennies began to pull away on their way to a 25-15 win. Once again, the Bearcats made the third set a close call as they showed they did not want to give up easily. The set featured 7 set ties and 2 lead changes, but in this set, Maddie Jones took over. She recorded 8 kills in the third set alone. Her effort paved the way as UCM finished with a 25-20 win. For the second set of the night, the Jennies held an opponent under 100 hitting percentage, and 3 Jennies had 10+ digs, and the Jennies had 4 team blocks.
How about that Jennies volleyball team? We're going to take a quick break, but don't go away. There's still lots more Mules and Jennies action to talk about.
You're watching the UCM Sports Page on KMOS-TV Missouri PBS and UCM Media Network.
I grew up in a small American farming town. Didn't have a lot. I lived with 7 siblings in a single wide trailer. I just felt like, why couldn't life be better for me? I remember to this day, I turned on the TV and saw Les Mis on great performances. The music was so powerful. I believed that I can do that. It truly inspired me. Today I have a full-time career, but I also have a dream to sing in a prestigious opera company. It takes work, time, dedication. Sharing my love for music with people gives me joy. PBS helped me think anything's possible. Now I really know what I want in life, and that's singing. PBS gave me the confidence to take a chance on myself.
Welcome back to Sports Page. Jason, you had a chance to meet up with Jennies Soccer. Why don't you tell us how they did this weekend?
Jennies soccer team began a pair of home games over the weekend. First, hosting Central Oklahoma on Friday. The Broncos came into the game third in the conference, 4-2-1. We pick up action in the 38th minute where Taylor Thompson is taking a penalty shot and buries it far right post. UCM led 1-0. Now watch this goal here from freshman Courtney Killian. She takes the pass from Emily Griffin, deflects it off her head, off the post, and goes back in. It's 2-0 Jennies at the half. Even with the offense scoring, there's still one person not named. That's Julie Ireland. Gets the third goal for the Jennies as Anna Dilks only had to get she saved 3 shots on the night. That was Dilks' 7th shutout of the season. Central Missouri outshot its visitors 18-8, including 10-3 advantage in shots on goal. The turnaround was quick for the Jennies as they were back on the pitch Sunday for a huge game to control position atop the conference standings against Northeastern State. This game was dominated by offensive efforts, but great goalkeeping early as the Jennies had 5 shots in the first 9 minutes. Central Missouri would go on to outshoot the Riverhawks 17-7 in the match, but unfortunately for the home fans, they were unable to finish. 81st minute, Rachel Gleason's rebound was out of Anna Dilks' reach, and UCM takes a 1-0 loss. The Jennies are still in a tie with the top spot with Northeastern in the league because the Riverhawks fell last Friday night to Lindenwood. Both teams now sit at 6-2 in the conference.
One reason the Mules and Jennies athletic programs are successful year in and year out is because the efforts of the UCM athletic training staff. Tristan McClellan caught up with head trainer Ron Dubuque to learn more about the program.
Athletes often depend on athletic trainers for their well-being. We were able to catch up with head athletic trainer Ron Dubuque. Ron has been an athletic trainer for 34 years for various teams and has spent the last 5 years as the head athletic trainer here at UCM.
Well, what I do here in the university is work in the athletic department as the athletic trainer, take care of all the athletes' injuries, treatment of injuries, and rehabilitation of injuries. The student athletic training program here at the university has been here for quite a while, and the hands-on training that they get with us is very, very important so that they can, once they get out and have their degree, they can get out and go into the field immediately and be able to evaluate injuries, know what to do for the injuries in rehabilitation and for emergency situations.
Having led the program the past 5 years, Dubuque has passed his knowledge and experience on to his graduate assistants.
UCM Athletics has really given me a great opportunity to expand my knowledge base. So I did my undergrad at Oklahoma State University, and since then you become a certified athletic trainer. And through UCM Athletics, I'm able to practice what I've learned. So I am a certified athletic trainer, and these athletes are my athletes. So I take care of them. I do their gen med stuff. I do all their athletic orthopedic injuries. And UCM is really a family here. So I work with the athletic directors. I work with all those coaches. All the coaching staff's great. And then I work with all my fellow athletic training GAs and staff here. And we all work to make UCM Athletics really great.
The way this program is going to help me in the future, it's going to give me experience to be a clinician on my own. I've never had that opportunity before. It's really allowed me to spread my wings and look at things from a different perspective than how I learned in undergrad, and it's really allowed for me to just get out there and take on new challenges.
Well, the best part about my job is the interaction with the athletes and getting to take care of the kids, getting to know them, and getting people healthy again. You know, you start out with somebody that is injured that you want to get them back healthy for the rest of their life.
I'm Tristan McClellan reporting for SportsPage.
Thank you, Tristan, for that package. And I mean, I can tell you, just as a student athlete, one of the most underrated parts about competition is that athletic training staff.
I don't think I would have made it through my 4 years of collegiate softball if I didn't have my training staff. So thank you to them, and thank you from all athletes.
Now let's take a look at what's on tap for the Mules and Jennies this upcoming week.
It's homecoming at UCM. The Mules football team will be hosting Northeastern State at Walton Stadium Kennedy Field Saturday at 1:30. The Mules routed Northeastern State last year, winning 56-14. UCM will be looking to win its 5th consecutive game.
The JENNIES volleyball team hits the road this weekend. UCM will be at Fort Hays State Friday at 6 p.m. and Nebraska Kearney Saturday at 7 p.m. The JENNIES swept Fort Hays 3-0 at home on October 2nd. They came back the very next day and defeated Nebraska Kearney in 4 sets.
JENNIES soccer is home this weekend as they battle to stay atop the MIAA. The JENNIES will first host Missouri Western on Friday night at 7. Then on Sunday, it's Senior Day, where at 1 p.m. they will host the Northwest Missouri State Bearcats. UCM drubbed the Bearcats 6-1 on September 20th in Maryville.
The Mules and JENNIES cross-country teams will be competing in the MIAA Championship Saturday in Hays, Kansas. The women's 6K begins at 10 a.m. The men's 8K follows at 11. Last season, the Mules finished 4th in the championships and the JENNIES were 7th.
The Mules golf team will be competing in the Arkansas Tech Invitational on Monday and Tuesday at the Branson Hills Golf Club in Branson, Missouri.
And the JENNIES golf team will be in Rio Grande, Puerto Rico for the University of Illinois Springfield Island Getaway.
You can keep up with all the Mules and JENNIES news, stats, and results at UCMathletics.com.
Once again, JENNIES soccer is tied with Northeastern State for first place in the MIAA, both with a conference record of 6-2.
JENNIES volleyball is tied for 3rd in the conference standings at 7-2, just half game back from Washburn for 2nd.
And Mules football is tied for 3rd with Fort Hays State with a conference record of 5-2, 1 game behind Emporia State.
That's all for the MIAA standings this week. We will return with Asia Garrison, and she'll have our news and notes.
Don't go away. You're watching the UCM Sports Page on KMOS-TV Missouri PBS and the UCM Media Network.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
What if television could take us back in time, into the mind of a president?
This is our summons to greatness.
And into the soul of a rebel.
I shook up the world!
What if we could know how it feels to shoot for the stars, to witness the terrors of combat, and know the heartache of those left at home? And why can't TV remember the heroes we honored, the music we danced to, the dreams we chased?
The hope still lives, and the dream shall never die.
No one tells our nation's story like PBS. Give to your PBS station and help bring America's story to life, now and for generations to come.
There's a lot happening as usual this week in UCM athletics. News, polls, homecoming games, and player of the week. So let's not waste any time. JENNIES volleyball is ranked number 12 in the national coaches poll, up 1 spot from last week. Central Oklahoma, Washburn, and Nebraska Kearney also are in the top 20. Volleyball players Maddie Jones was awarded MIAA Hitter of the Week for the first time in her career. Jones had 20 kills in UCM's 2 wins last week, but that was not enough. She also led the JENNIES for the week with 6 total blocks, including 2 solo blocks. JENNIES soccer drops down 2 spots from last week and is now ranked number 10 in the latest national soccer coaches poll. The JENNIES are 12-2 and 6-2 in the MIAA play. The JENNIES are one of the 3 Central Region teams in the poll. The MULES football team moved up 3 spots in the D2Football.com poll. The numbers are number 21 in this week's poll. They are also receiving votes in the American Football Coaches Association poll. 2 former football players have been honored with the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame Elite 11 Award. Chuck Blair and Eric Zerneski were both honored. Blair was a 3-time All-MIAA punter for the Mules from 1978 to 1981. Zerneski is one of the best quarterbacks to ever play Division II football. As a senior in 2010, he won the Harlan Hill Award as the top player in Division II. To read more on these stories, log into UCMathletics.com. And now it's time for our Coach's Corner segment. As we do every week, we sit down with one of the men and women who helped the Mules and JENNIES find such great success. This week, Daniel Barnett got to visit one of the coaches.
On this week's edition of SportsPage Coach's Corner, I'm joined by JENNIES head soccer coach Louis Theobald. Coach, thanks for taking the time to sit down and answer some of our questions.
Hey, I appreciate you having me.
All right, let's get right to it. Last year was a big year for the program, did a lot of big things. This was the school's first Elite 8 appearance, first MIAA team to 20 wins. Really had a lot of high expectations as the season ended. And now that this season started, where do you see your team compared to those expectations from last year?
You know, we're right about where we'd hope to be. You know, we're in first place in the league. You know, we'll be highly ranked in the regional poll, so that's where we thought we'd be. I think the difference is last year was we had some little bit different adversity in terms of injuries and things, but this year we've lost a couple of games, which we didn't do last year, so we got a different type of adversity, but we're right where I think we were probably going to be.
All right, so you talked about winning and being able to win again. Something you've done a lot in your career since coming here to UCM. You've been here for 9 years, and since then the program's really taken off. In your time here, what have you seen from the JENNIES soccer program that you think could be the reason why this program has been so good the past few years?
You know, I don't think there's any secret to it. I think we've been able to attract really good people and good players to our program. So the ability to go out and recruit some of the best kids around this local area and in our footprint has made a big difference. You know, I think it starts and begins with getting really talented people that are good people with good character, and we've been really lucky here since I've been here to be able to attract those type of people, and for us to maintain what we're doing and get better, we have to continue to really make that our priority and focus.
And you talk about getting better. That's something that's really been a key in your career. You've been in coaching and player development pretty much your entire professional career here, Indiana State, and then with Kansas and Indiana in their Olympic development. What do you enjoy about that? What do you find rewarding in that coaching and player development?
You know, I think high achieving people don't like people who are mediocre, and then mediocre people don't like high achieving people. And so what I find here in player development and what we really want our kids to buy into is that they want to be high-achieving people, and I find that once they spend the time with us and raising the expectation, the standard that we're trying to create here, it's good to see a player find a new level in their own ability that they didn't know was there. And that's a result of hard work, obviously, but it's also a result of being around other high-achieving people that kind of pushes them along to be better than they've been. So, you know, I've used Julie Ireland as a really good example. Her freshman year, she never played, and then her junior year, she was a first-team All-American. And in that course of 3 years, she made huge strides. At times it wasn't comfortable, but once they get it mentally and they hold themselves to a higher standard that they're capable of, then it's fun to see them grow and fun to work with those players.
And so you've talked about this satisfaction. I want to talk a little bit more, keying in on you and the success that you've had, some of the satisfaction you must feel. So I'm just going to rattle off some of your numbers. Coach, you're 130, 23, and 17. That's the third winningest mark active in Division II with an 85% win percentage. You're the winningest coach all time here in Jennies soccer. 7 times in 8 years you've been voted the MIAA Coach of the Year. That said, you've got a lot of experience. You've been doing this for a while, obviously, to get to those levels. What has been your favorite experience from your 9-year coaching career, your favorite moment? What have you enjoyed the most?
My favorite coaching moment, I would have to say probably last year playing in the Elite Eight, winning our first region championship, because that was a culmination of everyone's work since I've been here, and even before me, right? So, you know, we had an alumni event where people came back that I didn't coach, and they hear the stories from them about what it was like here before me, and then all the work those people did. It was like, it's been a progression to that point. So I think going to our first Elite Eight and winning our first region championship is a culmination of everyone's hard work. And so as a coach, you feel a lot of satisfaction in that. And I got a lot of text messages after that game from past players, and I think they feel pride in their program. And that for me as a coaching part is the most rewarding, because you share that with everybody. And I think when you win championships, you get to share it with so many people, and that's what makes it special. And so we were able to share that moment with not just the current team, but the past players and families, and I think everybody had some ownership in that. So for me, that was the best moment I've had.
That's all the time we've got for today. You guys can come out and support the Jennies Friday at 7 and then Sunday at 1 p.m. as they take on Missouri Western and Northwest Missouri State. Coach, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, I'm Daniel Barnett reporting for SportsPage. Now back to you guys.
We're going to take one final break. When we come back, it'll be time for our top plays from the past week. Stay tuned. You're watching UCM SPORTSPAGE on KMOS-TV Missouri PBS and the UCM Media Network.
Who says we can't know how a Civil War soldier felt, or what it's like to change the rules of the game? Ken Burns pioneered a new way to tell America's story. And only PBS gives filmmakers like him a place to push the boundaries of what TV can do. Give to this PBS station so stories like these are available now and for generations to come.
I choose red to blaze my own trail.
I choose red to be with students and faculty who make me feel at home.
I wanted a university with a big picture perspective. That's why I chose red.
Why do you choose red?
Choose red.
Choose red. Choose the University of Central Missouri. Choose red. Can I do that? Is that allowed?
Mules football, Jens volleyball, and Jennies soccer were all in action over the week. Let's get some top plays. We saw some great action, and it's on right now.
Number 5, when you get a shutout, better believe your goalkeeper is on. Anna Dilks punches it out. Nice save.
Number 4, big hit by linebacker Austin Miller on the receiver across the middle. Boom goes the dynamite. 49 and white had his Wheaties for breakfast.
Number 3, Katie Carlson with the service ace. Back-to-back aces for the Jennies sophomore.
Number 2, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Courtney Killian bangs the header off the crossbar, but follows her own shot. Goal!
And our top play, Mules versus Central Oklahoma. Great misdirection here by maybe it fakes out our camera operator as Markel Smith runs down the sideline for the touchdown. Mules get a big win on the road, back to 5-2 in the MIAA standings.
Thanks for tuning in this week. Hope you've enjoyed it. Remember, you can watch us every Thursday night at 9:30 on KMOS-TV Missouri PBS. You follow us You can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. I'm Asia Garrison.
I'm Kira Mackey.
And I'm Jason Katz. From all of us here, thank you for inviting us into your homes. You've been watching SportsPage on KMOS-TV Missouri PBS and on the UCM Media Network. We'll see you next week.
Support for SportsPage is provided by the University Store at the Crossing. The University Store at the Crossing is the official headquarters for Mules and Jennies emblem clothing, gifts, and UCM memorabilia. Books, office supplies, art supplies, and more are available at the University Store located on the lower level of the Elliott Union on the UCM campus in Warrensburg. And promotional support for SportsPage is provided by 1450 KOKO and 98.5 The Bar. 1450 KOKO and 98.5 The Bar, the radio home of the University of Central Missouri Athletics.